somebody's going to their vehicle or cutting through the lot, your cameras are pointed in the opposite direction, if you kind of get my point. Be very respectful in here. Some people, you guys are the weirdos. People are going to walk by and go, what the hell are you doing? Just so you guys know, in case you were wondering. But again, everybody's going to spread out. I am going to keep Daniel behind so I can show him more about his little Ouija board device. But I'm going to be bouncing around with all of you. We're going to do 1 or 2 quick round robins based on what you guys are telling me that you're hearing. And then the 2.5 and higher, our new base right now is 7.1.
Right.
So anything above a 7.1. Once you go above 25, 25 will be your new base for the entire duration network here. Have you had anything else above a 7.1?
No.
Okay. All right, everybody, let's spread out. Let's see what we can do. All right.
Do I really like talk to the air?
Whatever you're comfortable with. You want to focus on
So I
it?
just turn this on? Yeah. I'm scared. I like talk out loud to me. And you're gonna be with her, I think. I'm sticking with you, girl. Who are you with? Huh? I think I turned it on. Can't tell.
Go ask him.
I want it to talk to me. Yeah. Okay. What happened to the mansion that was here? Eliza, do you know what happened to the mansion that was here that you used to live in? Mansion that used to be here. Do you know what happened to that?
Dilly,
Yes.
have we heard anything?
Just a lot of random noises. I thought I maybe heard the word fire, but I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm just listening to
I'm going to take that as a
it
yes.
says.
You heard the word fire because that's exactly what happens with this.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that's the only word that I heard come through so far. And it came as soon as I asked it, really.
Yep. Welcome to my world.
Whoa.
That's crazy. Do you know when that happened? When did the mansion burn down? It said like 37. It was 30-something. I heard 30.
You have to tell him whenever we're done.
Can you say the year again? sorry if I missed you saying it, but I'd really appreciate if you said it again for me.
Any other words that are coming up on your end? I see defensive shooting.
Did you hear what that just said, CJ?
No.
That was the clearest "that fire" I've ever heard in my life. It literally said "that fire." It was like a song. Can you tell me when it burned down, Eliza?
Yeah, I've seen little spots, but I feel like it just glares off the cars and stuff.
That's kind of crazy. Like, that's kind of wild.
Like, look, this is definitely a glare. See?
Can you tell me? Just saying random little noises right now.
No words?
She
I
thinks-
thought I maybe heard like 37, but it just said ghost. Did you hear that?
No.
It said ghost.
When did the mansion burn down?
I heard the number 5 and it's no.
Eliza, I bet your dress was very, very pretty. I really appreciate your dresses that you wore during that time period. You want to tell me when the mansion that you wore those dresses in burned down?
Come back.
See, she does like me.
How did the mansion catch on fire?
Alright, everybody, let's kind of round up on this corner. I'll kind of show you how this is going.
That's kind of crazy. I can't believe that. It was as soon as I asked it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of wild. I don't know about that.
Camera-wise, have you seen anything on there that doesn't make any sense? Okay. Okay, what was your last few words that came up on yours, Carol?
Don't turn it off.
Brady, touchdown, banker, regard, assault.
Okay,
Touchdown, is that the bar?
I'm getting to it. Nicole, anything yet? Okay. Again, it's not silly to tell me the little things that you heard. If you hear, like, if I wish I had $1 million, or any of those crazy things that come up on a radio
I
station,
just keep hearing 4 out of 5.
I kept hearing 5.
4 out of 5.
that, believe it or not, is relevant.
Okay.
So,
4 out of 5.
now, we have something out of everybody that's kind of relevant. You guys are going to see how all these little puzzle pieces come together. If you have a video camera and you want to pause it to give your hands a break, by all means.
Oh, I don't know.
Nice. So, Daniel, with yours, I can already see you have all three lights on at the bottom. So you want to turn the sensitivity down on the middle and the right knob, only because those are for indoor use. That's temperature changes and any type of tapping motion. So you're going to get a lot of false anomalies. The tap is basically the ghost comes up and touches the device. It doesn't really work when you're walking around town and you're making a count. So that's why we don't do that one outside either. Any words show up for you at all?
I need to buy a vowel.
You got like a prescription on there, something we can't pronounce? Nicole, did you hear anything?
Gallery?
Gallery or gallery? Obviously, I don't know. Last two words?
Last two?
Yep.
Green and specialist.
Green specialist.
Heard like, hey, you, me, and then it said like home. Real, like I was like very defined.
Go ahead
Let me
and
turn
mute
it
that one
off.
for me,
Yeah.
please. And then you and I were chatting, so did you hear anything along the way? All right, perfect. So nothing that really stands out to me. So specifically, with Daniel's device, I'm going to ask him to look for the initials RI specifically in that order. Again, initials have been kind of like the easy play for this, but I'm going to explain a little bit more about that as we kind of roll along. Video cameras definitely get some footage in here, so Chloe, even if you're just sitting there just like that, hit that record button and face it down the alley. If other tours are going to start coming down here, they're usually going to pop up out of that ivy wall, or they're going to come in from the way we came in. And that's when we just kind of split the seas, we let them pass, and we'll continue on once they go past. Just kind of keep in mind of where your cameras are pointed. Forgetting my point. Good job, CJ. But anyway, but yeah, by all means, put that thing on record and just sit it on the ground next to you. We'll see if we get anything that shows up later on. Now, you're in Philadelphia Alley. So this used to be called Dueller's Alley. This is where some of the duels used to occur for the city of Charleston. Again, we are here to kind of stir things up, and then we're going to be going over by St. Philip's Church and Powder Magazine, and hopefully you're going to get more like bleed over from here over to there, even along with the piece of history I'm going to tell you on that space. So it's almost like you're doing a double whammy. But anyway, Dueller's Alley. Every ghost tour that comes down here tells the exact same story, because this duel actually occurred and we can actually prove it, but we're not doing campfire marshmallow ghost tour kind of stuff. We're actually going into details. So here's how this goes. There's a doctor that moves down here from Rhode Island. This is why I'm having him look for RI. So if you guys are getting my point, we're going to talk more about that RI in just a second, but his name is Dr. Joseph Brown Ladd. For those of you that are still listening in on your spirit boxes, if you hear the song Brown Eyed Girl, it is not coincidence. We get it here all the time. It is part of his name. So he moves down here because he's supposed to get married to his fiancée, Amanda. Amanda just inherited a bunch of money from her dead parents, and she has an attorney helping her out with all of this cash. The attorney thinks that the doctor is just after her money. So he tells Amanda, get rid of the doctor. He moves to Charleston to prove that he's not. He's coming into town, and the postman that brought him in set him up to be robbed and killed. It wasn't a good start to his stay here in Charleston. Somebody was walking by with the name Ralph Isaacs, who has the same initials as Rhode Island. So we were getting the letters RI on the red spirit boxes all the time, and to verify that, I bought the Ouija board device to see if it would actually pop up during this part of the history. And in the 6 months that I've had it, I can say at least 4 or 5 times it has come up on cue whenever I brought up Ralph Isaacs. And it comes up on his device, and I don't know what letters he's getting right now, but I can hear it going off for sure, which is very weird. Which, by the way, with yours, Andy, the baseline here is going to be about 7 because we do have lamp posts near us.
Yeah, that's not before.
Yeah, so I'm not excited about that because of the lamps. But anyway, back to Ralph. He tells the doctor, dude, you don't want to stay here. He's like, I know this guy. He's going to try to kill you. Come with me to 59 Church Street. You can rent a space from them, and you'll be safe and good to go. Dr. Ladd took him up on the offer. They became friends. The longer the doctor stays here, the more money he's making. He's proving his point. He's not after Amanda's money. He became known as the Whistling Doctor because Amanda's moving down so they can get married. It's the 1780s where men actually whistled all the time. Here's what I'm going to tell you about whistling ghosts. Every haunted city has a cliched whistling ghost. We have one too. It just happens to live here. So kind of giving you the gist of like whenever you're down here, every tour will tell you to listen for the whistles because it's always this quiet down here. We have 3 video cameras running plus my voice recorder. You don't have to use the extra energy to be able to listen for it. If it's going to be there, it'll be on one of those 4 devices. Back to the doctor and Ralph. They go see plays together, but they can't sit next to each other because the doctor makes more money. He gets better seats. It's just the way the hierarchy works for the city of Charleston. So they go see Richard III one night. They're arguing over the new actress on their way home. Dr. Ladd thought she was great. Ralph didn't. The argument turns into Ralph insulting the doctor's fiancée, Amanda, back home in Rhode Island. It gets ugly. They go their separate ways. Ralph has friends here in town. He goes to his friends at the newspaper, puts an ad in the paper telling the whole city of Charleston what he thinks of the doctor. Kind of a you're a disgrace to society kind of mentality. The doctor saw the ad, but rebutted with, let's go to Dueller's Alley. Let's settle this. Keep in mind that this entire argument started over an actress. Yeah, so they came down, they took their 10 paces, they turned, the doctor pointed his flintlock in the air, and he shot his one shot. He didn't want to kill his friend. He just wanted to have the courage and bravery to show up to the fight. But Ralph, he has his one bullet, puts it in the kneecap on the doctor. You can see keywords that I look for when we're here, by the way, right? So puts it in the kneecap. He didn't kill his friend, but he's proven that he's still pissed off. So doctor falls to the ground. His friends picked him up, took him home to 59 Church Street, where he dies 10 days later on November 2nd of 1786. So he also refused medical treatment during those 10 days after he was taken back to 59 Church Street. Why? It's 1786. Gunshot wounds are a lot different back then than they are now. He probably just tried to bleed out the lead poisoning himself. So, like I said, every tour that comes down here will tell you, listen for the whistles. There's obviously a lot more that goes on down here than just whistling. But I will tell you that we had that RI show up several times. We will get the word whistle that will show up on a radio station somewhere during a spirit box. We've had whistling parts of songs. We've had the word doctor, 59, things about the house where he lived in. We have a lot of evidence that shows the doctor does come down here from time to time and will throw us a little nod of, hey, I'm the whistling doctor. So kind of keep that in mind. We're going to be getting a lot of those cues, hopefully, not just here, but also at the next location. But I'm also going to tell you that if you're going to go down this alley all the way by yourselves when I'm not with you, because I can't take you down there because I've been kicked out of here, we're going to get into that. Carol's like, oh shit, who the hell did we sign up for? But anyway, turn on your voice recorders on your phones, see if you get any whistling in the background. But just keep in mind, every local knows this story. Anybody walking up and down Cumberland or Queen Street throws a whistle down the alley. And it's not always going to be, it's going to sound like a faint wind in the background. It's not going to be up. It's not going to be one of those. So kind of keep that in mind. Here's how I got booted out of here, because now you all are looking at me like, what the hell did we sign up for? This alley, first off, you need to know, did not go all the way through this way. There was a wall this way, about halfway between us and Cumberland Street. Why? Because this is where they kept the livestock for the city of Charleston. It was called Cow Alley back then, before Jewelers Alley. That means the bricks on the other side are sun-dried bricks for slave children. So that means that there is a full handprint from a slave child at the end, along with some fingerprint swipes up to the bricks off to the left. So yeah, you guys have had dogs, you probably read that they're all over town. This is one of those spaces. So I used to take my groups all the way through here. Do you really? Nice. See? Told you. Can't make this stuff up. That's how many letters in the alphabet, and what are the combination combos that we could possibly get. But anyway, back all the pain, and as I'm talking about the poor slave kid, I treat that brick down there, by the way, the same way I do a grave. That kid's not there. That's the last place you're going to find him. November 26th of 2020, my entire team of 10, same size as you guys, is huddled around that one brick, waiting for something to happen out of the gadgets that I gave them. The kid's not there. I'm trying to shoo them along for that fact, and the fact that we're outside the kitchen window of the beautiful mansion at the end of the alley. I'm just trying to be respectful, not realizing I'm out of bounds. I was new at this. So the new owner of that mansion came out screaming. My daughter thought it was great because her dad's getting yelled at, and we moved on. So the next day was Thanksgiving. I don't work Thanksgiving because I worked in retail management before this. I don't do Thanksgiving. The day after that, I called my partner. It's November 28th. Yes, the date's irrelevant. I'm going to get to it. But I called my partner that I had at the time, kind of piggybacking of learning tourism, and I told him what happened. He said, dude, you can't go down that far. You're only allowed to go down halfway, or you got to reroute the group. I decided that night, I had another cool night because it's Black Friday, I'm going to reroute the group. What I told them was, I don't believe in the next story. I'm a vampire guy, not a pirate person. If you haven't picked up, we're going to be talking about pirates next. So, somebody on a spirit box heard the name Anne on a spirit box before we left this area. I didn't tell them who we were going to be investigating. A famous female pirate, Anne Bonny. So I went, okay, maybe we have something. We get up there, I told them what little bit I did know about piracy, they can kind of winged it a little bit. Somebody else hears the number 300. I don't know what that means. I write it down, I researched it the next morning. We were there November 28th of 2020. Anne Bonny's trial for piracy, November 28th of 1720. We were there on the exact 300th anniversary of her pirate trial. So you guys are looking at me like I see the surprised looks on your faces, but I was like, damn it. Here's my problem with pirates. Master's degree in creative writing, I need data and facts. Pirate stories are based off of pirate lore. Nothing is concrete enough for me to say, this is what's going on. I've read more damn books on pirates trying to debunk these stories as much as I possibly could to make sure everything we're going to be discussing is accurate as possible at our next location. So we are going to let this gentleman pass through here, and then you guys are going to tell me if you guys have heard anything, have seen anything, and then before we go talk about rated R pirates. Yes, that was a joke about pirates, and I used the word rated R. So, have we... Yeah.
There was red out of the wall.
Oh.
No.
Were you recording?
When she was recording.
Nice.
There was red. Yeah. No, there was red on the wall and on their
I've seen a little flash there. So trees are not your best friend with that because the leaves are always in front of me.
There was red here.
Yeah.
Here.
long as it's there, I'll definitely dive in.
But then she picked it up and paused it.
Because of your walking by, so she was doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Good. Good. She's like, yeah, I'm doing the right thing.
But I was seeing something.
Anything else coming out of there besides the RI over there?
No, it's spelled the word, it's spelled war.
RI and war. We'll take it. Again, getting words spelled out for us is weird. Because, I mean, you've given me how many words so far tonight? You had that weird anagram. Uh-oh. Yeah.
War was spelled. Play was not a word. L-P-A-Y.
Right. And that's the way I wrote it down, so I would remember. Anything else being heard or said? Alright, so I definitely need to check the Essex location. Awesome.
How about McKenna?
A little kind of newer of a name, I think. It might be more of a last name than it would have been a first name for the 1700s. Before we leave the space, the gate behind me, just kind of a quick of why that's actually there. Remember that the alley didn't go all the way through this way. If there was a loser to the duel, this was the shortcut to get over to the cemetery that's on the other side of this wall. So a lot of people don't know why this archway is actually here. The wrought iron was probably put here in the early 1900s, but the archway you can see is definitely original work from the alley itself. But again, I always like to call this the death gate, because otherwise, if there was a loser and this gate wasn't here, they have to go all the way down to Queen Street and loop and double back. Like, that's a lot of steps with dead weight. So this was just a kind of a shortcut to get over St. Philip's Cemetery and drop off the dead body so they can go celebrate the winner. And Carol's looking at like, oh shit, this town is weird. So, are we ready to go learn about crazy pirates and investigate even more? Those of you with cameras, if you want to keep them running, just be discreet. We're going to stay out of the... You guys get the point. We're going to stay out of the way of the other tours if there's anybody over there. But again, it's only right around the corner, so if you don't want to stop your video, let's get rolling. Let's do this. Come on, Chloe. We got to get you back to work.
I guess I'll turn this back on. Yeah. Hold. Let's walk as we go through my shade. Okay, so let me fix my screen now.
Anybody else got anything weird? Anybody at all?
Just girl.
Girl. So we do get a lot of female gender terms over here, which
Oh, I
is
did
why.
get her.
You got her as well?
But that was back there.
Back over by.
Yeah, it was like as soon as we were leaving the alley, I heard girl.
And you're like super study focused over there. I love how he's laser focused on this, by the way. Anything else coming out of there crazy?
No.
Okay.
I need vowels. Yeah.
I'll call Van. Yeah. She actually lives in Myrtle Beach. It's not a big deal. I'll get her down here. Actually seen her house before. It's very fun. So, you had girl, cameras running, so we're good. Chloe, where you at? So I'm actually pretty excited to go check out the footage up there. So we have had somebody sitting on top of the wall, nothing behind it for pinpoints to be cut, added back there in the past. So hopefully you cut something along the same lines. So kind of see what happens. By the way, we're back here. I like to stay out of the way. There are the tours. They do like to cut through here, starting there and going all the way across. I just wasn't trying to bring us by this really crazy porta potty for everybody to come try and use to see if it works out. But the other tours, they like to go up front as well. But we are here literally for the same building that they are. We're just talking about it in a much different light. The little tiny building up at the front, up there by that brick wall, that's the gunpowder magazine. It's a museum now, but it did serve in 7 different wars and 1 rebellion. But we're here because, by the way, those are not crosses on the building. Those are earthquake bolts. We talked about the big earthquake of 1886 earlier. That's the reason why they're there. The reason why I bring those ones up specifically, and if you're not familiar, did anybody tell you guys what earthquake bolts are? Alright, so they're basically turnbuckles. They go all the way through the roof, so if we have another earthquake, like what we did, which we haven't, you can turn the turnbuckles on either side. It tightens up the building so it doesn't incur any further damage. That's the whole point of it. But I will tell you that it doesn't work. It's just a great theory. Those are the first set of earthquake bolts that Charleston ever put in. That's the reason why we're here. They did that because that's the oldest government building in South Carolina. It's finished in 1713. This is what I call a familiar. You guys all watch the TV shows and movies where they use the teddy bear to attract a child ghost? That's because the teddy bear is familiar to the child ghost, right? Because teddy bears have been around forever. Same principle. This building was being constructed at the same time that Anne Bonny was coming here to start her new life. So let's kind of get into this. Follow me. There's a lot of twists in this. Again, if you have a hammer and want to keep it running, by all means do so. You just don't need to keep it directly on me. Move around a little bit. It's okay. I'm not going to take any kind of offense. But anyway, follow me. There's a lot of twists here. 1708, right in the middle of the building's construction. I'm sorry, did you hear something?
No, you're good.
Okay. So the young lady moves here from Ireland. Her name is Anne Cormac. She comes here with her father and his mistress. The mistress is her mother. You guys with me so far? Okay. So she's a young girl, moves here with her dad and his mistress, the girlfriend. The girlfriend is her mom. The 3 of them are running away from her father's angry wife. Does that make more sense? He was married, had a mistress, a love affair. She's the illegitimate child of that affair. Okay? Everybody on board with that one now? Okay. That's why I slowed down on there's a couple of them. But anyway, we're talking pirates. So, anyway, they run away here and they land in Georgetown. Dad bought a plantation. Mom died pretty quickly. That means he's sending young Anne from Georgetown down here to sell anything from the plantation to keep things afloat. Now, that's why the building is somewhat familiar. We don't have many buildings even round about this age, so we're hoping that she's going to be here at the same time that we are. Back home in Ireland, Anne was kind of a badass even back then. They say at the age of 7, 8, 9 years old, remember it's pirate lore, nothing is exact, they say she killed a servant with a knife to the belly. We had the word knife earlier, so again, a little too far away, but that was my first thing when I thought, where are we? But I've had the nights where somebody heard knife, servant, belly, have all come up in the same evening, and the other person didn't know what the other 2 people had. So again, take it for what it's worth. Anyway, fast forward, the building's done in 1713. By 1715, pirates are starting to come through Charlestown. Anne is stoked. Why? So she can fall in love and earn her freedom, just like a man. It's a man's world at this point. The first guy she falls in love with is James Bonny. I said first, by the way, because there's a handful, and we're going to go through them all. James Bonny, and you can already see where this is going, but Dad didn't approve. They ran away to Jamaica. They got married, and Cormac became Anne Bonny. That's where the pirate name comes from. When they get down to Jamaica and they're married, she realizes that James, her new husband, is not Captain Jack Sparrow like what she was hoping for. This guy turns out to be a privateer. He's a spy. He's a coward. This is not who she wanted. So a few years go by, she falls in love again. Wrong guy number 2. This is John Rackham. They call him Calico Jack. This is the guy they based your Johnny Depp character off of, in case you were wondering who this guy is. Calico Jack has his own ship and his own crew. You can't put a girl on a pirate crew. Does anybody want to tell me why? Keep in mind we have a 13-year-old young lady with us. Yeah. I'll give you the answer. It's bad luck. So he makes a deal with her. And I get a lot of raunchy answers to that. So please keep in mind it's family friendly tonight. But anyway, he makes a deal. If you dress like a guy and look like my crew, you can be part of the crew. But you're going to be a female in my quarters. She's okay with this. Why? Dad used to cross-dress her as a boy apprentice back home in Ireland to hide her from his wife. She gets it. It's a man's world. Let's all put two and two together. She's a female in his quarters. She's eventually going to get pregnant. You cannot have a pregnant pirate dude on the crew. Somebody's going to figure out that she's a girl, and then they're going to go jack off the ship as captain. So he drops her off in Cuba before she starts the show and says, have the baby here, come back later, and let's see what happens. We'll figure it out. She goes and has the baby, but returns with no baby. We have no idea what happened to this child. So none of my research has ever discovered it, so we get answers. I can't prove it, just so you know. She does come back dressed as a female. This makes Jack pretty angry, because now everybody's going to vote him off the ship as captain. And while she was away giving birth, he captured another pirate crew. They're down below deck. Anne's going to go flirting with that pirate crew to make him even more mad. We're on guy number 3, in case anybody lost track. Guy number 3 turns out to be a female, dressed like a guy to be part of the pirate crew that Calico Jack captured. Now we have 2 females, dressed like males on the same ship, trying to be pirates. This young lady's name was Mary Reed. She went by Mark Reed from a pirate. Now, her and Mary became friends, possibly lovers, more than likely lovers. We're never going to really know for sure, but the British find out where they are. They send a fleet of ships to come take down one pirate. Anne and Mary, it's rumored that they were the only 2 people that came up and fought with 1-bullet flintlocks, probably because they didn't know how to use cannon jet, because obviously 2 ladies with 1-bullet flintlocks not going to take on a whole fleet of ships. They get arrested. As they're being arrested, she looks at her captain in bow, Calico Jack, and she says, Jack, I'm so sorry to see you here, but if you would have fought like a man, you wouldn't be hanged like a dog. The word dog shows up a lot. We've even had it on the Ouija board over there. Again, trying to take that word for it. The judge wants to see the 2 men, quote unquote, that fought back so valiantly on their own. The Calico Jack and the drunk pirates are already dead and gone. He's tried and hung them, so they're already gone. The 2 ladies go in front of the judge and they reveal their gender, hoping to save themselves. The judge doesn't give a shit that they're female. He's still going to hang them. They're still pirates. So they scream out, we plead our bellies, which means they're claiming to be pregnant because you cannot hang a pregnant woman in 1720. It's illegal. They're trying to save themselves. Again, he delays the hanging, sends them both back to jail. The dad is still up here in South Carolina with all of his Irish money. He was an attorney back home. He bails out Anne, brings her home. She remarries. That's husband number 2, but guy number 4, because we're going to count Mary Reed. She has 4 kids, dies at the age of 84. Yes, very abrupt ending because we don't know much about her after her pirate career. Mary Reed dies 5 months later in that Jamaican jail from whatever pirates last from Jamaican jail. Now, I only left out a few things, on purpose, so you guys had something to work with. I'm not going to assign questions. This is also not a prominent English woman where we have to tiptoe around. Poke the bear here. Let's get some damn answers from this angry kick-ass pirate, right? So, here's what I left out. I left out the name of Anne's parents, if you want to ask what those are. Remember, that's the father and the mistress. I also left out the name of Calico Jack's ship on purpose, so you guys have something to work with. The name of the city where Anne grew up in Ireland. And the color of her hair, which I'm sure most of you will guess was red. So I will give you that one. So everything else is fair game. If you guys get direct answers, by all means, get those direct answers. Yeah, good. Thank you. So with yours specifically, the closer you get to that front half, we have 2 electrical poles. They don't get excited. It's normally along this back half. If you get a 2.5 or higher, we actually had a 4.9 for lessons, and now you're stoked. It's not the Pinky Mansion site.
Right.
So you guys have that idea. Anything showing up on our word list that we need to know about?
Out before time, diamond.
Anybody hear anything on the spirit boxes yet?
I heard 19.
19. Okay. Paul, you got anything?
Wyatt.
Wyatt?
That's all I hear. Wyatt. And I still keep hearing Galley. I still keep hearing Galley.
I wonder if you are repeating something. That's why you're struggling. I'll take a look at those real quick. Because that's weird for you to hear. That's a weird word to term.
That's a weird word, and I've heard it like 8 times.
Wow. You said Wyatt. Alright guys, let's spread out. Let's see what we can find. So Nicole, let me take a look at your spirit box real quick. Just want to make sure.
Go off with me. I take a soda with this.
I don't think it's on, because it takes so long to actually say in between, so I have to turn it on and then wait 30 seconds to see if it's actually turned on. If this device is turned on, please make it make a sound.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That's weird for my suit and tie. I said that's weird for my suit and tie.
What?
My shoe has not been untied since I started working. And that's since April.
I That's weird.
Go beep.
And are you around here with us right now? You want to tell us anything?
And may we ask you a few questions?
Come on, girl. You was badass. I gotta know what it was like to be a badass.
Girl.
Please let me know, baby.
I don't think we can talk to them like that.
Sorry.
And what's your parents' names? Miss Girl.
Thought I maybe heard John. That was Baby You Light Up My World.
We ain't listening for that.
Yeah, we don't listen for anything.
And what city did you grow up in Ireland?
I've heard Baby 3 times since we turned this thing on.
See, I don't hear any of that.
I can hear. I heard mine. I've heard John, Baby, like 2 or 3 times.
John? When John?
I just heard like it could have been John. It's just like, you know. Listen, I'm trying to play into this because you know I don't fully believe. And listen, I don't fully believe you're here right now. But if you were and you showed me, that'd be pretty cool. I gotta be honest with you.
And what city did you grow up in Ireland?
Pretty good. We just heard like Baby, or I keep hearing Baby a lot. She says she doesn't hear it. But
So I will tell you that there's like 15 crazy stories around here. So until something kind of steers me in a different direction, I don't cover all 15 stories. There is something obviously relative to Aunt Bonnie's baby that we don't know much about, but there is another baby story nearby. So I'm going to see if something else kind of pops up along with that, just to kind of verify like what's actually going on with it.
She also thinks she might have heard John.
Might have heard John, but she heard the same thing and didn't hear John. So
Okay.
I don't know, I just...
What do you think you heard? It's usually your first instinct.
That's what I do. Like, I just listen, I'm like, oh, it kind of sounded like that word. We'll go with that.
like, I'm listening to it, and I don't...
Remember.
I heard remember. But everything so far besides that just has not been clear to me.
I heard
So
Baby You Light Up My World. It was a One Direction song. I know exactly what song it was.
Good deal. Well, that spirit box is definitely not easy because it doesn't give out as much as the other ones. But what you do get is definitely 75% relevant. This was a location where when I first got this, we had a really light night, nothing was going on. I mean, I won't say nothing, it was very light. And I'm packing things up because this used to be the last stop. Somebody hands me that spirit box and he goes, pirate. It
Like,
wasn't
just tells you.
It wasn't like part of a sentence like the Pittsburgh Pirates kind of thing. It was more like, I'm a pirate.
Yeah.
Like just straight
Like
on.
telling you.
The nice thing about it, this is where I got the inkling of like we need to record with a video near that person all the time, so that way in case they miss something, it's at least on the audio for the customer. So we actually had it on the thermal, so the camera that Aaron's using today. So it was very exciting because it was really the only major thing that happened that night, and it was definitely not radio chat. So it was kind of one of those, I was at least able to kind of go through and analyze the audio a little bit. It's not super great, especially when it's not direct coming from the SD card, but at least we had something. But again, not easy to do. So kudos to both of you for getting anything out of it. I've had people use this thing all night long and not hear a single word. It happens. So, but yeah, definitely you guys are on the right track. Let me follow up with the other folks and keep listening in.
Sounds
I'm
great.
pause because I kind of started talking.
It was letting him speak.
See, like, honestly, that thing, I know you hear stuff, but, like, it's heard differently.
I felt
Because
that
I
too.
just can't...
But you heard that remember.
I heard remember.
That said remember. It said I'm
And
gonna
I
let
can
you
hear,
know.
like, the songs. That was something, but I
It
don't know
said
what
perm, or like perma, or something like that.
that... Perma?
Perma.
Famous?
Famous.
See, I can hear those, but when they're not clear, I can't hear them.
Okay, it said famous. I like that you're holding the camera right there too. It's a really good spot at Walmart. Do you remember what your parents' name were, Anne?
And can you tell us the name of your parents?
We should probably get this person's phone. What happened to your baby?
Any ghosts?
All of you.
Maybe. Hold on. Oh, I should probably not point the camera at them.
Yeah, that's true.
And what city did you grow up in Ireland? Side. So we got side, perma, and famous.
Galley. That's a galley.
That's a galley.
That's exactly what I said. Who keeps saying that?
Nicole. Side, famous, perma, galley.
It's a
Thousands.
That's crazy. Okay. Famous, perma, galley.
Side.
Thousands.
I'm gonna point it towards her.
And that was clear. It said galley.
Mhm.
Is exactly what that said.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna walk it back. That's crazy.
And can you tell us?
Do you know who Galley is? Who is Galley? Or can you tell us something about Galley?
And tell us the name of your parents.
Famous, side, thousands,
Galley, perma.
Galley, perma.
No?
That said no, yeah. Can you not tell us anything about Galley? We just want to know a few things about Galley. Who is that? What did you do? What was your job? Free of charge, it said.
And I'm not playing with you. Girl to girl. Girl to girl. Tell us the names of your parents.
June. That was a Scottish, like. That was Galley. I'm like shocked at that.
We need to stop repeating Galley.
I know, but that's all
Galley's
I talk to. Obviously, if it's trying to speak and it's never said that before,
I know
there's something that's wanting to say it.
And tell me the city that you lived in Ireland.
You're just trying to pass the test. You want to get the answers right. I want to know about these people. Girl, I don't think they're gonna care that much. And what was your mom's name?
Tell me your mama's name right now.
Girl, you just say, can we not talk like that? Don't say that.
And tell us more about your baby.
got one.
Yeah.
I've got this.
I got this.
I heard last.
one.
I heard like last one.
Did we get June? Is that what
That's
we heard?
what I thought I
We
heard.
did? Yeah, we heard June, didn't we? Yeah.
Can you tell me your mom's name again? I can't believe they heard Callie, to be honest.
That is
That's
pretty
crazy.
shocking. And can you tell us more about your baby?
We got Galley. It was like clear as day. It said Galley.
Yeah, we got Gally. We've gotten
Like it popped up out of nowhere.
we've gotten June, Side.
Famous.
It was either Perm or Perma.
Thousands.
Thousands.
Sorry, I'm trying to remember what everything is. Alright, let's rein this in, because we've got a little bit of a current that I need to tell you guys about. So, I guess first and foremost, you need to know, like, Daniel wasn't feeling well. You guys noticed, but the guy was sweating, like, profusely. Like, that happens a lot to me out here on the tours. Like, not to me personally, but will happen with a guest, particularly with this area. He said he wasn't feeling well from, like, kind of the start. I don't know if you guys noticed, but them two kind of segregated themselves off slowly because they, he really just wasn't doing well. Looking to see if they were actually coming back, but it doesn't look like it. So they decided that he needed to go. So we are down to 8. And we only have one more space left, but this used to be my last stop. And I will tell you that a year and a half ago, this past September, I actually brought my group to the back like I normally do, and I tell this part of the story every single night. So it kind of gives you a reason why I give that heated warning at the top of the tour. So the kid next to me, and I say kid because he was like 21, maybe 22, he starts to faint and pass out the minute we entered the space before I told him anything about where we were. So I have to pick him up by his armpit so he doesn't hit his head on the ground. So yeah, kind of a crazy thing. His boyfriend picked him up from the other side of him. I took him over to that wall so he could sit down. We got him a bottle of water. He was feeling better. And I then told them the history of Anne Bonny that I've already told you. Afterwards, I told everybody, go spread out, go have some fun. It's our last stop. And them two guys pull me aside and say, Nick, we are 2 transgender males. We felt the need to tell you this because it's 2 females dressed like males, just like Anne and Mary in the story. And it made sense as to why one of them about passed out the minute we entered the space. This is the weird shit that I see of why I give those heated warnings. Like, if you're not feeling well, whether it was from your dinner or whether it's from my ghosts, I need to know immediately so that way we can kind of get things rectified. Now, do I know what happened to Daniel was something paranormal? I'm not going to put my finger on that specifically. Like, I could just tell you, like, there were beads of sweat on that guy. So he was sweating pretty badly, and he felt like he was going to pass out and maybe possibly throw up, so they left. But can I explain what that is? I can't. So I don't know what his day looked like. I'm going to follow up with them later on. But as you all know, he's the one person that didn't text me back. So we're going to see how that one goes.
He's also the one that questioned someone getting nauseous. In the beginning, don't you remember him saying, oh, someone getting nauseous in the bar?
Right. So again, but it is one of those things where I can't explain it. Now, again, I'm not going to say that this was something paranormal. I'm just going to tell you that I will get a lot of females that won't even enter the space, heart palpitations, out of breath, those kind of things. We're in a weird space where there was just a very strong, female presence, obviously. It's not that Anne Bonny lived here. She just recognizes the joint. Like, that's the only reason why we're here. We did get a few things, by the way, with cameras. So, CJ, if you guys wanted to give your cameras a break, by all means do so. We are going to cover the answer. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but it's been multiple times. How does it change? How does it change? Oh, I was here to walk for that. Like, that's not multiple.
Oh my gosh.
Like, you will see the back around and then what are you doing that? So much better than that. You're on
exactly what it is.
Again, that's why you guys are here. Validation.
I'm just weird making body music.
Alright, so CJ, Stacy, Caroline, have a seat. So you guys are all asking me questions along the way, and I'm going to kind of stop just for a brief second before I explain what this whole experiment is about. You guys have been asking me about, like, hey, have you experienced things out on the tours? I'm going to bring up last night's investigation. So I'm going through the data, and keep in mind, I'm in my office after the tour. So I'm down in this shared office building with nobody in it, and I'm going through the Spirit Box recording that actually Stacy's going through right now, alone. And I write down the word book signing and write down the time marker. I'm like, all right, that's just a weird thing. You don't hear the term book signing anymore. And then I hear the name Sandra. So I write down the name Sandra. It's a few words later. A few more words go by, and the name Carl shows up. I'm going to tell you that I just lost a very good friend of mine, psychic, named Sandra Walters. I met her through another psychic named Carl Ray, and I met them at one of my book signings.
Wow.
And you can see where, like, the word book signing showed up at first. It may have stood out to me because I'm an author and I've done book signings, but I didn't put all of those clues together until I was going through the data as a whole after I wrote everything down. And I went, you son of a bitch, because I was pissed because I was supposed to message Sandy the day before she passed away. So it was one of those pieces where I just missed her and I was supposed to go visit her in a hospital. So it's almost like her saying, it's okay, I'm just letting you know I'm here, kind of thing. So to answer your question, if I have things that are going on with me in real time that I notice, unless I'm in danger, I don't bring them up. Did I give them the notes and give them the Meet the Team page so that way they can see Sandra and Carl are part of my cohorts of people that I refer back to? Yes, because those are real things. Do I do it in real time? Not always. So I will hold those things back unless I feel like I'm in danger or I'm putting anybody else in danger. So again, I'm not going to be the person that's been touched. Or, oh my God. Just last week though, I swear to God, we were in this park. It was just, I think I had a party of 6. I kept feeling spider webs all over the place. Nobody else felt them. Craziest thing. Like, we were analyzing stuff left and right. And then on the SLS camera that Chloe was using, we actually had a person touching me exactly where I was having the spider webs on my hand. So I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I wasn't like searching for it. I was like, let me just watch the video, see if anything shows up. Lo and behold, there's a person, hands outstretched, and the hand is touching where I felt the spider web. And it was right next to the monument that we're about to go through. So, first off, I'm about to blindfold all of you, but we, the rest of us that are not sitting down, are going to go over to that monument. I'm going to give them the history. I'm going to hand you guys blindfolds. You're going to have to kind of, work them out because they are disposable. I'll show you how to open them up. But please do not put anything on until we come back. If I'm blindfolding 3 women in the middle of a park, it never looks good. I know, right? So,
It's in your blindfold.
So please do not put anything on until we come back, because I'm going to have to even give you a few pointers of what to expect out of this, especially Stacy, because I'm so sure that she has no idea I'm about to blindfold her. These are disposable, like I said. When you open them up, the wrapper, just keep track of where they are because I'm going to collect them. But it's 2-ply, so lift up by the nose piece. It'll create a full ring, but it does not go all the way around your head. Rip the thinner part, and it creates a one thing where it goes over your ears. There's 2 little loops. So if you guys can't figure them out, I'll show you when I get back.
Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah, figure it out. Happens every night. I explain it, nobody gets it. Last but not least, I am going to hand out the noise canceling headphones. And CJ over there, so I want to make sure you need to swap devices for me. Sorry, this was kind of a last minute change. I don't normally do people like 3 people. I normally do 2. Alright, so with your spirit box, can you see that?
So I should put both these in my ears, huh?
Don't do anything yet. I'm going to come back and say Alright, the noise canceling headphones, and to set off to the CJ down there. Only because I think Stacy's going to talk really loud and I'm going to set up. So that's going to connect to you. Family members are going to have to help you put those on anyway, so because you're not going to be able to see because you're going to have to be blindfolded. But I'm going to take these people 5 minutes away. 5 feet away, and we're going to be back in 5 minutes. And you guys aren't going to know anything what the hell is actually going on. So let's keep you guys in the dark. Chat amongst yourselves. We'll be back. Let's go, everybody. Can everybody agree to that? Like, I feel like I almost lost my voice earlier. Then we had the 2 that had to leave. It's been kind of a crazy.
I don't know. I don't know what a normal night is for you.
This is kind of all over the place. Yeah, we can move over there if she wants to sit down. So the first time I came in here, I had no idea what we were going to find. There's a lot of monuments in here. Every year I change this up. I take out one space, add a new one. This was the new space. You're still in the new space because I've just been investigating this since November. The young lady listening to the spirit box for the year 1828, the name Henry, and I was using the word list because there were only 2 people in it for that night. I had the name Tim on mine. Behind me is the bust of Henry Timrod, born in 1828. So I'm like, hot damn, there's my ghost. So here's how this goes. Very brief history on him, just so you guys have enough to work with for what I'm about to do to them over there. The guy being born in 1828 is obviously old enough to go fight in the Civil War. So, but he's sick through most of his life, and he's a writer. So he goes out to fight for the Confederate side because he's from Charleston, and his friends realize he's too sick to fight. So they sent him home, said, go be the voice of the war. Came home, started writing poetry about what was going on in the battlefield. So he became known as the Laureate of the Confederacy. That's a big deal for us writers. That's a pretty high title. But a few years go by, he has a son. You guys are going to know about this son. They're not. The son's name is Willie. He was born on Christmas Eve, and he died 9 months later. It's a very tragic death because obviously he's not a child. So a few more years go by, and he's still mourning. He's not writing as much as what he was doing before. So his college friend realizes he's not publishing as much. So he basically says, come up to my cottage in Columbia. That's in the middle of the state. Leave Katie and the wife. Katie's the wife behind with her parents to mourn, and you can come finish the piece you're supposed to be working on. He goes out there and writes his last words. His last words were beholder of brief mortality. Basically means person of short life. And then he coughs, and it lands on the page in a blood stain. He had tuberculosis. That blood stain looks like a man writing at his desk. We call it the blood book. They show it at the Charleston Library Society 1 day a year on Halloween, and you have to be a member of the society to be able to go see the book. But the internet is beautiful. I'm going to show you what the page looks like, and we're going to go talk to them as if they are Henry Timrod, hoping to get answers out of the questions I'll ask. When we get over there, we were going to stay pretty tight to them. I don't want other tourists seeing that I'm blindfolding people in the middle of the park, right? So we're going to stay pretty close, and all 3 videos will be recording the entire thing, so that way they can have the footage later. They are not going to know Henry Timrod's history until they get the data back tomorrow morning. So it's going to be up to you on the car ride home to let them know that what they did was either really good or really bad. You guys get my point. So let me show you the blood book, and then we're going to go give them a few pointers on what to expect out of this whole scenario. So this is the blood book.
Yeah, that's exactly what that looks like.
Yeah, way to end the night. Nice, good, creepy story. It used to end with pirate stories, right? But now it's like, oh, we need bloody authors, right? So even up close, like, it's pretty gross. Like, there's a lot of blood in there. So I'm trying to get from them. All right, so let's go talk to them. You guys are going to have to pay attention to the pointers I give them, because I'm going to tell them how they should be answering things and what to do, if that makes sense. So let's go see what we can find.
My head ain't this little.
It's been on bigger heads, trust me.
I did not listen to you about these waffles.
Yeah, we're kind of confused.
I got this far.
Okay.
I got
got
them
this.
this far. That's as far as I got.
We just go down the road, but I need all 3 of you to kind of listen up. So there's a couple of things that we need to do here. Don't put anything on yet, still. So first, all 3 of you need to know, like, I am not going to be touching you whatsoever. When it is time to pull you guys out of here, like, after I'm done putting you under, we're going to keep you under for 10 minutes. So I know it sounds bad to say put you under, but this is the best way to explain it. So there's ear holes. It's going to go over your ears. So,
These are the ear holes.
you got it. Don't put them on yet. So 10 minutes is the max. The reason why is because this can be very disorienting, and it is a little humid out here. We've already had one person not feeling well. So in the event you start, like, I see you're breathing a little bit heavier than normal, I'm going to have a family member tap you on the leg. So family members need to be kind of at the ready for that. If you're talking too loud, yes, your family member, or who you brought with you, is going to be tapping you on the shoulder. That means quiet it down. When you start and get this started, Stacy, I need you to whisper. So you're a pretty loud talker, young lady. So you're probably going to get a tap on the shoulder. We can hear you. Okay, other tours are around, and they're going to be like, who has Tourette's over there? 3 people have Tourette's. We're all 3 blind mice. So we are all going to stay really close to you. Like, we're going to huddle in really tight because we want to get this on video, and I don't want the other tourists to see what the hell we're doing over here, taking my tactics and blindfolding 3 women in the middle of a dark park. So the other thing, you can answer yes/no questions. You need to tell us in real time whatever you hear on those radio stations coming through. You don't know what questions I'm asking. It may be a yes/no question because I may be asking things in real time like, hey, am I wearing a blue shirt? You don't. That's a yes/no answer. Like, I want proof that something's going on, and sometimes I have to ease into the ghost we're looking at because he's a very timid guy. There's other people walking around. I may have to ease him into things a little bit. I think that about covers it. So again, tell us what's going on in real time. So, but whisper.
Okay.
And expect those taps. Your family members are probably going to have to help you with the headphones as well. So those of you that have headphones, so Dilly.
Yes.
I'm going to take your camera because you're going to have to help her with those headsets. She does not have a headset, so you don't have to worry about her, Andy. I took hers away. So it is blindfolds first. Blindfolds first.
Oh. What?
Then earbuds.
Oh, then earbuds. Okay.
Trying to help you guys out here.
11:09.
We'll say 11:10 because it's almost there. We are looking to speak to Henry Timrod. Well, I guess first off, so CJ, can you hear me? Good. Stacy, can you hear me?
And me?
Oh, good names. All right. Henry Timrod, please tell us your occupation if you are here with us.
Hey.
Henry Timrod, we need to know your occupation, please. Henry Timrod, we need you to come through or tell us if there's somebody else here. A lot of nothing. Who do we have here with us if you're not Henry Timrod? I hope they don't think they're supposed to be memorizing 10 minutes worth of stuff they're hearing. Family members, let them know, lift their earbuds or tap them out for a second and let them know they're supposed to be talking.
Hey,
What?
you're supposed to be saying what you hear.
I don't hear anything.
Turn it up.
You're just, he wants to make sure you know you're supposed to be saying stuff out loud that you hear.
I've heard one thing so far.
Okay.
There's nothing I've heard.
And they'll put this in your ear, right?
Alright, so Henry, these 3 young ladies can hear you. We need to tell us through their little boxes that they're holding what you want us to know. I'm going to start with, what is your occupation, sir? Can you tell us what those people behind me are doing?
Death.
Oh, they're not dying.
Down.
What were those people doing with their hands?
$6,000.
Okay, Henry, let's just dive right in. Can you
Ticket?
tell us- My tickets are not that expensive, Henry. Making me. Oh, here we go. Henry, what is coming out of the church right now? We get this answer all the time. Henry, please tell us what sound we just heard out of the church.
House.
Come on, Henry. Henry, what came
That's
out?
about to change.
What's about to change? I want you to tell us what happened out of the church. What sound did we hear? Henry, let's dive back into your faith. What did she say? Across the street, Henry. You know where the church is? It's St. Michael's. Let's get back into your family. Can you tell us the name of your wife or your son, please? We just want to know that you're here. Did she say quit?
what I got him.
No.
Henry, you need to tell these young ladies what you want us to know. We're hoping to have a small conversation here.
You.
I know there's a lot of people here, pretty shy and timid.
22.
Homer. Shot.
Who else do we have here with us? This is not Henry Timrod. I need you to tell us your first name, please. Who was 22 when they got shot? What is your first name?
Left.
Who was 22 when they got shot? I know, there's a lot of noise. It's a busy part of it. Paul? What did you think?
It sounded like.
I'm good with the name Paul, but that brings us back to Henry, who I don't think is actually here.
3. The right person comes along.
Shut.
Now she's getting good at it. Henry, let's talk about your wife. That's usually a happy thought for you. Can you tell us that your wife, Katie's maiden name?
President.
What was your wife's maiden
Dog.
name? It was Goodwin, by the way, for anybody that cares to know. Katie, what was her maiden name?
Oh, Tom.
Still don't quite know. Henry, I need you to push through.
T.
Did she say T?
T.
You know somebody else is here with you?
Sticks.
Can you tell us who else is here with you? Just push through. We need to talk to you directly. Anything crazy going on over there? Yeah, if you mind to the before walking by, let's huddle back in a little bit. You're on YouTube, please. Where are we at with time? 11:16, so 6 minutes they've been up there.
You were right.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty close. But Henry, I need you to tell us what was going on with your wife. Can you tell us how old she was when you met her? She was only 16 when you met her. He was her school teacher. Yeah, that was definitely another slander. You guys can all hear the scare boxes, right? Like, they are super loud. Henry, we need you to push through. How many people are here with you?
Short.
He was short. Can you tell me what kind of facial hair you had? Prove to me that you are actually here with us?
Outside.
He had a mustache. Very distinctive, very thick mustache.
Material Girl is playing.
You.
She's a riot, by the way.
Outside.
I got commodity on the sun.
Yeah.
She
Which
wasn't
makes it.
like the Mary Brennan was for the Pirates.
No.
Right,
3.
No, 3. It's another 3. That's the second time that was said. Second person. Henry, really push through. Is that how many people are here with you? That's a yes/no question.
Self. Fire.
You did not set yourself on fire. Henry, tell us how you died. If you want to start talking about death things.
Caution.
Caution. How did you die?
In public.
You were not in public. You were in a private home.
Business. 766.
thought we almost had somebody else's birthday of somebody who I actually think is here, but it's off by 2 numbers. Sorry, that's why I'm like
Eve.
looking at. Henry, who else do you have here with you? Somebody that would be older than you, for sure. Who else is here with you?
Evan. Come on.
7 and come on.
New.
Was it Evan or 7?
I thought she said heaven.
Over.
Heart.
Henry, we're running out of time. You know, we only do this for 10 minutes a night, trying to connect with you. So we're running out of time. We are down to about a minute. So anything that you want to answer for us at this point, I need it to be specific to you and to you alone.
Rock. Charleston.
Henry, do you want us to quit and leave? That's a yes/no answer.
Life. 723.
All right, family members, let's tap them out. Let's tap the leg.
Ow.
You're hysterical, by the way.
Material girl, does that mean anything? That was pretty funny.
Normally we get that over. I just want to see yours, so I want to stop it, so that way I know it's the exact last part of the recording that came out of the this message. First off, how does everyone? CJ, you good?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you guys think you'll turn the volume down? I already turned it on.
Turn it on. Yeah, because I think this is up full volume, so just let me know that.
Oh, it goes straight in my computer.
Okay.